Hi, collective. Welcome back to New World Angel. I was meditating before I got on, and Spirit was like, you need to get the Divine Feminine Oracle deck out. So that's what I'm doing. Maybe today is going to be a Divine Feminine reading. Let's see. What sort of Divine Feminine energy are we working with today? I hope you guys are doing so well. What Divine Feminine energy do we have going on today? Marguerite Peretti, the mystic of divine love. Love is divine, and I am nothing except love. And I'm gonna read a little bit from the Divine Feminine. Whoa! Yowza. You guys are fiery today, aren't we? Miss Marguerite Peretti. Let's see what we got. Okay. Let me pull her up. By the way, this deck was created by the author of Mary Magdalene Revealed, the book that I've been talking about that I was able to finish. She actually created a tarot book, or a tarot deck, which is awesome. So if you guys are interested, that's what it's called. All right. Who is she? So Marguerite is the essence of divine love and the truth that we are all love. Marguerite was she was French born in the mid 13th century. I have French in my background, but I don't speak it, so I'm probably going to butcher this. The Beguine movement was a spiritual revival among women in the late Middle Ages that emphasized an imitation of Christ's life. These Beguines or holy women lived together in semi-monastic communities. They were not nuns. They didn't take formal vows and could leave at any point, but they lived with a shared spiritual intention. Marguerite wrote a spiritual masterpiece titled The Mirror of Simple Souls. It reveals the spiritual process she went through to be transformed by divine love. I am God, says love, for love is God, and God is love, and this soul is God by the condition of love. Let's see. Okay, so she was ordered to stop circulating her book and to recant her ideas of God as love, but she refused. Okay, we got a little bit of a rebel on our hands, which we love. Fiery energy. Marguerite was arrested as a relapsed heretic and a free spirit, which included the belief that humans could achieve union with the divine. The Catholic Church conducted an unprecedented trial to decide her fate. Like Joan of Arc, much of her life is recorded because of the transcripts of her lengthy trial. She maintained her truth that the soul has no other will. Sorry, I'm like shaky because I drank a lot of coffee this morning and haven't eaten a lot. Has no other will but God's, and that when the soul is united with God's love, this state of union causes the soul to transcend to contradictions of this world. She suggested that we can be transformed by divine love into love itself, which isn't separate from God, and that ultimately no outside source is needed in this transformation. It's between the soul and God alone. She was burned at the stake. Surprise, surprise, what woman wasn't burned at the stake back in the day if she just, like, I don't know, walked around and, like, spoke? Anyway, the Mirror of Simple Souls continued to gain in popularity, but was distributed as an anonymous text until 1946 when Romana Garneri identified Latin manuscripts of the mirror in the Vatican. Marguerite's name is returned to the text when it was published for the first time in 1965. So when your soul selects her card, there's nothing more powerful than remembering that we are love, and that there's nothing and no one outside of us that is needed in order to realize this. It's between our experience of the divine and our own soul. We can let go of what we think we need to prove or who we think we need to be in order to receive love, because we remember that we are love. Then we can stand in that truth even through flames. Marguerite is courageous. She's a courageous truth teller. Hello, have we met? I'm your mirror. I am a truth teller as well. Maybe you're just like me. In which case, you're probably dealing with a lot of shit, hence the reason why you're at my channel, but we digress. Marguerite is courageous. She's a courageous truth teller, and the truth of her experience is that love alone can set us free. Not the love another might give us, not the love of family or friends. All of this is powerful and significant, but the true source of love for us is in the fact that we are a soul, and that the soul is in union with the divine. She reminds us that when we've forgotten that love is the essence of who we are, and that true love is found within. Marguerite says, love has no beginning, no end, and no limit, and I am nothing except love. This is a time to own and to know this truth more fully. It is the most profound and radical act we can ever take, knowing the love we already are. So the meditation here is, how can I feel the love that I am more deeply? And then the intention is, love is divine, and I am nothing except love. Miss Marguerite, our rebel. I bet she was called a witch, too. I love it when people call me a witch. It's like, I'm not a witch. I don't practice magic. I just read energy and cards, but yet, you know, everyone wants to be like, she's a witch. It reminds me of the Holy Grail. Not only the song by Jay-Z and Justin Timberlake, but the Holy Grail, the movie. When he's like pretending, if you guys have seen the movie, you would understand. But anyway, that's just what I get. She's a witch. She's a witch. So, if you're being outcasted by your family because you listen to tarot, or because you believe in it, or just because you're a rebel and you're going against the grain, just know that Miss Marguerite, she sees you. From the stake up in heaven that she was burned upon, she sees you. So, all right, my rebellious divine feminines who are nothing but love, let's see what we have going on in the energy today. Take a deep breath. For whatever reason, the word that comes to mind is consent. People need your consent, collective. For what? I don't know. Your name is being mentioned in a good way. Oh. I guess they can't really burn people at the stake anymore, right? So. Hold. Maybe you're needing to go see a doctor, because that was my doctor calling. I'm okay. Nothing's going on with me. It's just like a reminder for an appointment that I have coming up. But maybe you are seeing a doctor, or I don't know if doctors are significant in your world in some way. Or maybe you're waiting on a results of a test or something, and you're waiting on a call. I don't know. But consent is needed. I don't know why that keeps popping up. Ethereal, magical energies, and mystical. What was I saying before? Maybe you're a mystic just like me. Misunderstood. Maybe even by the ones closest to you. Probably especially by the ones closest to you. Love at first sight? Somebody fall in love with you at first sight? Oh, if that's the case, and it just worked out and you guys are like together, I mean, tell me the story. Leave it in the comments. I want to know. There literally is nothing better than just true love, right? And that's what Miss Marguerite wants to remind us of too. But yeah, tell me your true love stories or love at first sight stories. I love that. Anxiety. Don't forget to name it. Got a little bit of anxiety going on. Over control tactics. Consent. I mean, typically when control tactics are, put in place and you're having to deal with them, it's not like people ask for your consent. They just fucking do it. I don't know. We'll see. Trying to shut you up, maybe? Miss Marguerite knows all about that. Yeah, we'll go ahead and say that this was just an anonymous text that we don't know where it came from. I don't know. But it's good, right? Yeah, we should circulate it and then not give credit. Maybe that's significant in your storyline. Ebony, ivory. Is that the love at first sight story? Oh! I especially want to know about that. That's amazing. In the story of your life, are you A, the hero, B, the villain, or C, the victim? You might be all three. You might consider yourself all three. I know I do. I should also put here, though, survivor. I'm going to add that. But yeah, and it's falling right next to your name is being mentioned in a good way. So in your story, are you the hero? Are you the villain? Or the victim? Maybe you've had bouts of all three at different points in your life. Whatever it is, it's the beginning before the beginning. You're in a weird transitionary period right next to ethereal, magical energies and mystical. Oh, maybe you just came into your gifts. Maybe you just went through an awakening and you're just now trying to discover or learn more about your gifts or just your storyline in general. In which case, I'm so glad you found me. Tell you what, the awakening that spiritualists go through, especially when you've been afforded gifts, like I'm a seer, I'm clair, I actually have all the clairs. In a wild, my story is so wild, but maybe you're just trying to make sense of all of it, in which case reach out to me specifically, because not only would I like to hear your story, but I'd like to share mine with you just in case it's helpful. Create a safe space for yourself. Yeah, that's very important if you are coming into spiritual gifts or just becoming more spiritual in general. The need to create a safe space, a place where you are not condemned by others around you, and for you to not condemn yourself, you know, a place where you can be open and like you're yourself without anxiety, free to be who you want to be. And if you're beginning to realize that's just not a possibility with where you're at, then that's your next step. Does that make sense? Like when you come into these spiritual gifts, and I don't even know if this is the storyline, but at least for me, when I came into mine, it was like I could only ascend so far where I was, that circumstances needed to change in order, and which required a lot of removal in my life so that my energy would be freed up to then explore different avenues of my own soul, those being what the gifts I was afforded to. So maybe that's relevant for you. Anomalies, control tactics. Celibate. Maybe that's an anomaly for you. Yeah, maybe that's just weird. And now things are beginning to shift in your world. That's another thing. When I became celibate too, it was like things sped up a lot, because that frees up, like, if you think about it, when you sleep with somebody or when you take on a partner or whatever, you're taking on all of their energy, like literally. And so if you are like spiritual in some sort of way, or like you're an empath, you're like an empathic type of woman too, because I do feel like I'm speaking to a woman, but, or maybe you're just in like a more feminine energy today, but when you take on other people's energies, sometimes it's just a matter of like cleansing your soul through celibacy in order to sort of clarify not only your situation, but clarify the messages that you are getting. Does that make sense? Like, think about it from a angle of, let's say you sleep with somebody and they're actually sick, like STD, and you take that on. That is essentially like an entity. So when I say like devilish type entities, that's just one form. And hopefully it can be cleared up by way of celibacy and like going to a doctor. But if that's not the case, then, well, hopefully that's not the case in your situation. I'm just trying to give an example of like, you know, how celibacy can clear up certain energies that you may have taken on from your partner. Actually, I want to get a different deck here. You've ascended so much in the past year, collective. I think you are going through like an awakening of sorts, or coming into spiritual gifts. And you'll even begin to find that your want and craving for certain things, for, first of all, different types of partners, right? Like maybe you were attracted to one sort of partner your entire life, and you become celibate, you go through this awakening or whatever, and what used to attract you is no longer like your thing. Even like when I ascended, my diet changed too. It's like your body kind of rejects lower vibrations and entities. And that frequencies are tied to food as well. Like your body wants more holistic type stuff. I don't know. Maybe that's all significant in your world. But let's continue. Maybe you don't even know who you are in your own story. And that's okay too. Nobody's like requiring you to know. Like at different points, we all embody, you know, different type characters. Maybe you're like in a villain era, or you were and you've since ascended, and now like you're seeing yourself in a different sort of way. I don't know. I do get like character trope growth. Get excited. Fast forward movement ahead. No spiritual protection. Hopefully that's changed. You have to do a lot. I'm talking like an absurd amount of not good things in order for you to like lose spiritual protection, you know? A superficial man or woman that has lost spiritual protection. And maybe that's who you are specifically dealing with in this situation. Superficial man or woman with no spiritual protection. Sometimes confusion is the lesson. God, when I first heard that message going through my ascension, it pissed me off so bad. It's like, why would you, this is like me talking to essentially God, like, why would you put me through all of this and give me these gifts only for me to be more confused? It's because the lesson is, how do you deal with confusion? And a big portion of that is you have to pull from within, your own inner strength. Miss Marguerite, she knows, before she was burned at the stake and her texts were just anonymously, distributed without her getting any sort of recognition for that, but yet notoriety was tied to the text, just not her. Yeah, guaranteed she had to pull from within. You think she maybe went through an awakening and got to her level of status because she was all pissed and like, passive aggressive about it? No. The woman had to go from fucking within and pull out her own damn divine love in order to get through the situation and ascend more. Only for her to get redemption after she was burned at the stake. Maybe that is significant in your story in some sort of way. In which case, welcome to New World Angel. You and I have gone through a lot of the same shit. And it ain't fun. What else? What else is my divine feminine collective going through? Superficial man or woman is smack dab in the middle of this right now. Bravo, Liberty. Seriously unhinged. Ebony Ivory, celibate, seriously unhinged. But they're saying, I would love to hear from you. A fated meeting. Follow your intuition, especially when it comes to this superficial man or woman in your life. Follow your intuition. And you're right about them. If you got like a weird vibe, there's a reason. And also, spiritual awakenings can be brought about by way of traumatic events too. So maybe you just went through something like pretty big and like you've come out transformed. That's death and rebirth right there. Receiving Dharma though. A Bravo Liberty with plastic surgery. Well, that narrows it down. Playful. Is somebody all playful after they've had plastic surgery? Maybe you just feel more youthful. I don't know. Slay, honey, slay. Red rum. Murder. International travel. I'm taking it. That's a fated meeting. Yeah, your name is being mentioned in a good way for the ethereal, mystical, magical energies that you embody. Bit of anxiety tied to that regarding control tactics. Ebony ivory. And then in the story of your life, who are you? Like, what's your character trope? How do you define yourself? Solid investment, receiving dharma. They're on the DL. If you're confused about somebody, they don't, I mean, yes, they could be like secretly, right? Like interested in the same sex, but then again, I feel like Bravo celebrities like aren't very secretive in that sort of way, you know? Like for the most part, their lives are on display, so it's kind of hard to be like on the DL. I mean, Kyle, that's not really like down low. I mean, she might not be like fully outright, like just saying that she's, you know, interested in the same sex, but that also doesn't mean that she could just be, you know, bi or whatever. Consciously aware. Are you consciously aware of the fact that somebody is on the DL? Ascension! I was getting that. Passion. Passionate about this ascension or moving forward, ascending. This is a direct message from your spirit guides. Collective. And it does regard the 10th house. 10th house is Capricorn energy. It's all about career, finances, work. Yeah, how you go, like honors, what you're known for, the work that you do. High honor. Saturn energy. Saturn brings about structure, boundaries, limitations. Maybe you feel limited in some sort of way. You know what I get from this energy, just a little bit, is like Jen Shaw. We haven't seen a whole lot of her since she's been out, but I also like don't go out of my way to like see what she's up to, but that could be something here. I would think that she would have gone through some sort of like an awakening or change after being, because you guys didn't see it, but I saw it on the split and I was just waiting for it to fall out, but federal prison was on the cards. So that's why I called Jen Shaw out. But I would think that she would have changed a bit after being in prison. And who knows, maybe she is on the DL. She was in there for a minute. Rehab, renovation, restoration. Yeah, I feel like you're rehabbing your life. Like changing things around, picking the pieces up, putting it back together. making it better. That's what ascension is all about. Okay, picking up where I left off in these cards. So we're in the in-between stage, creating a safe space for yourself. There's anomalies, like something sticks out. Oh, maybe the fact that the anomaly is that you're celibate. Like that's just a change maybe in your world. But either way, get excited, fast forward, movement ahead. No spiritual protection for the superficial man or woman who could be a Bravo celebrity. They're seriously unhinged. And I'm not calling like Jen Shaw seriously unhinged. I don't know what I've never met the woman, so I don't know. I would love to hear from you though. Somebody wants to talk to you. A fated meeting is written in the stars. Receiving Dharma. Plastic surgery is a thing. You've got a playful sort of attitude. Slay. International travel. Solid investment. They're on the DL. Consciously aware. Maybe you're consciously aware of somebody being on the DL now too. Ascension, passion. This is a direct message from your spirit guides. 10th house. And rehab, renovation, restoration. You know what I also get? Bronwyn energy. Like she is definitely going through a big transformation. And nothing against Todd, but I think, wasn't Todd her ex or partner? I don't know if they're already divorced or not, but like, wasn't there rumors that he could be on the DL? I don't know. All right. Again, I don't mean to bring up Bravo so much, but Bravo celebrity did fall out, so now I have a reason to. All right, let me just get all these in place, and we'll get a move on. Okay, dokie. Actually, what's the current energy of the collective? Leo, I will. There, you do have fire. You are also in the spotlight, or at least garnering attention right now. Starlight quality. Leo's definitely a fire sign. It's representative of the sun too, so you just there's a certain drive about you right now, and maybe that's why like your name is being mentioned in such a good way, is because like they can, like, maybe your ascension is now being shown on the outside. Because as above, so below, like the changes that you make within aren't readily shown on the outside for some time. Like that all happens in, divine timing. We only have so much control over it. Sure, plastic surgery helps, but yeah, that's just what I get. Also, Bravo celebrity that I keep forgetting about, keep forgetting about is like the Kardashians. Like, yes, they now have a show on, I don't know what channel anymore, but weren't they on Bravo for a very long time? Fairly certain. Okay. But yeah, you are just a little ray of sunshine right now, aren't you? Ugh. Did you guys watch the Met Gala? I'm trying to remember who my favorite. Okay, I think my favorite dress out of everyone. Yes, Bronwyn looked amazing. So did Kim. So did Kendall Jenner. That was pretty amazing. I thought it was a little like boring at first, but then once she spread out the wings, I was like, oh my god, beautiful. But I cannot remember her name, but she was wearing a dress that was based, like the inspiration was pulled from Van Gogh's The Starry Night. And it was like hand painted. Died. I would rock that in a fucking heartbeat. She nailed it. The entire show. I thought that was a showstopper. Also, what's up with the tits and like the nipples being hard? Why is that a thing now? Like it was all over. It's been all over everywhere, especially at the Met Gala. And I just like, I mean, yes, life imitates art and that's a thing, but like, why? I don't know. That's just one sort of detail that stood out to me. I'm like, why is that important? So I don't know. Okay. I'm getting way off topic. Let me see here. What? What's my collective currently doing? Like, what are you doing right now? What are you doing? Like, what are you even doing right now? What are you doing? I don't know. That's what I want to get your baseline energy. What's the collective up to right now? The Emperor. Well, you're just fierce, aren't you? The Emperor is Aries energy. He is a natural born leader. Definitely a showstopper. He like sort of like owns you. This is you, collective. So if you are a woman, you're in Emperor energy, which is so fierce and amazing. I'm getting chills all over. Yeah. Like you own the room that you step into. People listen to you. They want to hear what you have to say. You kind of have a silent power about you too. Like this guy, all he has to do is just like enter a room and sit down, and it's like people know that he's there, you know? And maybe they might even like conform to like your mood, your vibes, right? Because that's how much like you command the room that you're in. All right. We love that energy for you. This also could be the love at first sight character too. I don't know. But he is fiery and passionate, and sounds like you kind of have an enterprise underneath you that, you're the leader of in some sort of way. Andy Cohen. You're not really on the DL, like we all know, it's like, that's not a secret, so I don't know. Whatever it is, you're going after your passions, your wish fulfillment. Maybe you're celebrating right now and drinking. That could be a thing. I don't know. Or there's something for you to celebrate. I mean, there's slay, international travel, solid investment, ascension, passion, something about career. And yeah, maybe you're celebrating maybe you have just like signed somebody on. or like have acquired a new project, a new passion. Yeah, something work oriented though. This Emperor is like loving what they're seeing and what they're doing. I say this Emperor, that's you, collective. You are totally in your element right now. Not only are you like fierce and confident and command the room, but you're totally enjoying yourself. This is the playful aspect too. What else? I mean, there is so, I kind of get, well, my eyes immediately went to get excited, fast forward, movement ahead, which totally could be the case, but I feel like you're winning in some sort of like battle here. In the story of your life, are you the hero, villain, or victim? And in this story, you don't really know. You see two characters walking away, and you see this guy, but we don't know who started the fight. All we know is that, like, he's still on guard with his sword up and, like, sort of ready to, you know, put up his boundaries if he needs to. But for right now, like, I don't get a sense that you need to. You're just guarded about, like, being taken advantage of, I think. Possibly in this fated meeting, too. What else is going on with my collective? Yeah, you're getting the outcome that you want in something here. Could even be like the anxiety, like overcoming that. And the control tactics, like kind of, yeah, taking back over ownership of your world from a control tactic space. Lovers. Definitely love at first sight. I think this is the pulling on the Marguerite energy. This is you like leveling up in your ascension. Like you have reached the Emperor status. And the only way that you were able to do that and to garner like this level of control and wish fulfillment is by keeping your defenses up, having boundaries, limitations. That's a Saturn energy with the 10th house around your career and like, yeah, the things that you take on, the things that you agree to, and you're doing what you love. Like you're investing. You got to this point because you chose yourself over all the bullshit. This is the message that your guides wanted me to give to you. Communication. Let's clarify the Emperor really quick. I do think this is you, collective, but I also, it could very well be like your counterpart too, being in Emperor status. Why is the Emperor here? this is the new business venture. The passion that you have. Also could be the fated meeting, like them wanting to make an investment. Maybe they're just doing like some, I don't know, preliminary research, or like you're doing preliminary research. Why is the Nine of Cups here? Wish fulfillment. I think this, yeah, it's this it's this person's want to work with you, to invest in you. Solid investment. They believe that it's a good idea, that there's inherent value in you and your story. Yeah. It's their wish, and this is their passion. They're following their intuition about it, about the solid investment. Taking that leap of faith, and I think so are you too. Why is the Five of Swords here? Typically the Five of Swords is like, you know, competition. And maybe there is a competitiveness in the Bravo world for, I don't know, who they bring on to certain shows, what shows they end up, you know, assigning themselves to, or like, are they going to revive it for another season, that sort of thing. Why is the Five of Swords here? Five of Swords to the Ace of Swords. I feel like they've, like this person, this is the ascension and the passion. Ace of Swords with the Five of Swords, that's Six of Swords. Six of Swords is the energy of leaving, like sailing to calmer waters. Maybe you're just kind of like taking a beat before, I don't know, you really begin this venture, or before you begin your next project. Like maybe you're traveling internationally before you like make your next move. But yeah, I get like enlightenment about the competition too, like sort of seeing how energies may have been manipulated in the past too. I don't want to start drama with the Bravo world at all, but like it's no secret that the producers of these shows, they incite drama so that we get, you know, all the juicy information that we want when we watch these shows. And so like, yeah, they're saying shit about one person to the other person to the other person, just trying to see like sort of what shakes out. That could have been the case here too, where like, I don't know, maybe you were like vilified for your ethereal magical energies and mystical energies, only to find out like, no, that's not really the case. She's not just a witch, you know, burn her at the stake. No, that's what I get, is like, now this emperor or you are seeing clearly, like sort of like, what was that play here? What about the Lovers? The World. The this is the beginning before the beginning. Like, the cycle has since closed, or the season has since closed, and like either you're awaiting the next season or just the next project if you are no longer like with Bravo. And you don't even have to be like in Bravo anymore. But maybe that was a chapter in your life that has since closed. I could be speaking to Jen Shaw. I could also be speaking to Kyle. Ooh, I got tingles all over when I said Kyle. I did. Just again, am I speaking to Kyle right now? It's become like the most fun thing in the world for me is to try to understand who I'm speaking to. You guys all come to me for collective readings. I haven't been reading like for people through private readings. Otherwise, I wouldn't be giving out your personal information. So the guessing game for me is fun right now. If that's not the case, though, if you are believing that you are signing up for a private reading from me and you feel as though, I haven't been doing private readings and I've only been doing collective readings, it's because I haven't been receiving those messages. So that's one thing I want to get out there, because I do feel as though my devices have been hacked, certainly in the past. And, a lot of my messages are getting out there. I see that. I see the signs like coming back to me, but I'm not getting paid for that. So that's a YouTube issue right there. Anyway, I say all this is because like I would never give out personal information or try to guess who I'm reading for if I'm doing a private reading. This is collective. So anyway, just wanted to throw that out there. What is this? Eight of Wands. Is this the fated meeting and receiving Dharma? Maybe a new opportunity is coming your way after closing that door. Eight of Wands. I also think this is a direct message from your spirit guides too. Oh, and Kyle is moving. She's moving to Nashville too. I wonder if she's like rehabbing a home versus just buying new. Which I would think so, because all the good plots of land, you would have to rehab the home for the most part. Eight of Wands. Oh, yeah. This is like communication after loss of a relationship. That could be a business relationship. This could be like the long cycle closed out, could be the ending of a relationship, or if you were on like a Bravo show, then no longer being tied to that. And like I don't get like a ton of sadness though. I kind of get like a release on this for you. But there is communication about yeah, that just kind of made you feel like you lost something, like it was a heartbreaking sort of conversation. Yeah. That sort of required you to leave. Or at least like figure out like where your next venture is, like this is create a safe space for yourself. That's currently what's going on with you. Communication about Yeah, just the ending of something and you needing to leave after that. This is you moving forward, though. That's the passion that you have. That's the Leo energy. I will. I will, I will, I will. All right. I guess what is the collective need from me? So we'll pull on some advice that maybe you need right now. What advice, angels and ancestors, would you give the collective right now? Because I feel like this is damn good energy. Something about the King of Cups. It's Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. That could be you. Maybe you're just trying to sort of like balance things out in your world. Keep your cool. About the ending. Yeah, maybe it pissed you off a little bit in the beginning. Or even the ending of a relationship, you know, that can be the case too. Yeah, and then we have Judgment here as well. So definitely like a legal case going on. Or legalities. Or like just like a final say, you know, like this is the ending, sort of like period. There's a stopping point. What advice, angels and ancestors, do we need to give the collective? What advice? Okay, this is the confusion sometimes is the lesson. It didn't fall out, but I mentioned it earlier in the beginning. So, okay, being reflective, like as you continue to move forward, you're still sort of thinking about everything that's come to pass too. Maybe things didn't end in the best way, or like you wish, you know, there's certain things that like you wish you had gone about differently maybe. But what's the advice here about the moon? I do get a sense of like being more, like taking more time to go within, to be a little bit more reflective, like having the time. That's why you need to have a safe space too. Especially if you are coming into like, you know, spiritual type gifts, or if like you're just ascending in life in general. There's a need to sort of, be reflective about it and more clear. Knowing yourself is always an easier way of dealing with ascension symptoms, or like trying to uncover sort of like what's happened here. 3 of Wands. Yeah, this is the rebuilding, restoration. Like you are moving forward with passion. Maybe it's not like the fastest moving, but at least you have direction about you. Like you sort of see where, you know, this path is leading you. Maybe you're not like super communicative about it either. But you see the potential and like your ships coming in. The opportunities potentially headed your way. What else about the collective advice? And this is also continue to move forward even though you might be confused about the details. Confusion is the lesson. It's like the most annoying thing that you can hear when you're confused, but that is the lesson. It's like if you can manage to your life and continue to move forward and continue to ascend, even though you don't have the details, you can handle pretty much anything. Trust me. advice. Mm-hmm. You will. You will have that happy home life. You will cultivate like the lifestyle and like the healing that you are looking for. Like you will be whole, essentially. This is how I take that. You will be whole again. So long as you continue to move from your heart and continue to like, just be reflective. Don't dwell in that, but like, there's always a balance of like fire, 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 and then grounding that with the international travel, like giving back to yourself too. So you gotta have to find that balance. And I feel like you did because I pulled out the King of Cups energy, and he is all about balance, even amidst all the shit. Like Andy Cohen is a great example of an Emperor King of Cups, where he owns his shit. He's by far one of the best. I remember when the reunions first started on Bravo, and I was like, this guy is amazing because he asks all the questions that we all want to know. Super intuitive, but at the same time, like, if the girls, like the women get snippy with him, he's able to reel that energy in real quick and be balanced, and like he can toggle between like, you want to give me that shit, I'll give it right back to you. But then also like pull it back in and be the host again, instead of letting it like sit with him. So he's a good example of the Emperor King of Cups, where it's like he can toggle. If I am speaking to Andy, hi, you're a really good interviewer. King of Wands. Yeah, that's the Leo energy. Super fiery. I'm going to have to look up what Andy's birthday is after this, because I've just been getting so much Leo. Actually, you know what I would be curious to know? If they did like a poll, if the, the Screen Actors Guild, if they could like do a poll on people's, like what people's astrological signs are in Hollywood, I would be so curious to know, because I feel like Leos would dominate that world. And I've just been pulling out so much Leo energy, and I'm not saying like, everyone from Hollywood watches me, although I know that you do. I think there would be a crazy amount of people that are Leos in Hollywood. That would be a really cool research idea. Okay, that's just my nerdiness coming out. What other advice can we give our collective right now? It wants you to move in silence about what you're working on. Like there's a need for you, maybe NDAs are, I think I do have an NDA card in there, but yeah, you're working on something behind the scenes. Maybe this is the rehab, renovation, restoration project. But there's a need for you to be silent, or like more mysterious about it. What other advice for our dear collective? Also, maybe something will come to fruition in August. The number 17 might be significant. August 17th even. Yeah, but I get secretly working on a come up. Like, not necessarily a glow up, although it could be, but like working on things behind the scenes. Page of Pentacles. Yeah, something you already invested in. I think this is the home. Like a home space, for sure. And it might not even be secret. It's just that maybe it's just not shown yet. Like maybe you've acquired the property and like you're getting all the steps in place to do the rehab and renovation. And there's just like not a need to really talk about it. That could be it too. What else is the... What else is the advice for collective? Something having to do with a high priestess. Moon energy, feminine in nature. I kind of feel like you already saw this project coming. Why do I get secret communications with a high priestess? That's the ethereal, magical energy. It's mystical. This is an opportunity for... You are not the high priestess here. You are the emperor. So there's another person. And she only wanted to pop out at the end. Maybe that's the goal in all of this, is for like the final product to be like, ta-da! Like, you're only going to pop out when... you know, the contract's already been written, or the show's already been filmed, or like the home's already been renovated. Something's already been created, you know. Only at that time will it be revealed. I find it so funny because the high priestess, she's always mysterious and mystical and ethereal, and you know, there's always a dark side to her in the story of your life. Are you the hero, the villain, the victim, the survivor? And yet she decided to pop out at the end, being all mysterious still. You're working on something in secret here. Did I just blow your cover with that? I feel like I did. About what you're working on. Oh my god, this cracks me up so much. Well, I don't really want to give this away too much, but that's fucking funny. That's really funny, actually. There's competition upon competition. Like, people kind of tried to, like, stop this from happening. Or at least tried to steer you in a different direction. They were like, that's not gonna be a good business idea. Don't do that. And I feel like you were like, okay, thanks for your input, but I'm the owner here, so I'm going to do what I want to do. And then you're kind of working in the background. Yes! That's business collaborations. Investment. The beginning. This is the beginning before the beginning. You sneaky something. I like this. This is funny. Okay, well, I am not going to divulge any more information other than this, other than continue to move in silence. This is it's a good strategy for you. It's a good idea for you. This work. And you've already begun to like put the time and energy in. So maybe like you're doing your research. Maybe that's why you've come to me. Do your research and due diligence a little bit. Make sure that like things check out. Slay, honey. Slay. Okay, collective. Well, I hope this was helpful. You are very much consciously aware of what you are doing, even though it could be quite mysterious here. Here, we'll just put like her eyes right there. Yeah, keep going, keep moving forward. I'm excited to see. I hope I pull on your energy again to see what happens. Well, I love you, collective. Have fun on your travel adventures internationally. Don't go off with an Irishman at 4 a.m. and leave your purse on the beach only for it to get stolen. So I love you. Bye.